Funtown, Splashtown, USA is a New England theme park located in Saco, Maine. Now, it is a local park for most Mainers, with Palace Playland, another beachfront theme park, just down the street. But this is the best one of Maine and the largest one of Maine. Now, this park is on the smaller side, but does have the Dragon's Descent, a pretty tall, 250 feet drop tower, and Excalibur, the park's only coaster, besides a wild mouse. So, us Coaster Jam, let's jump right into the Funtown Splashtown review.
Funtown Splashtown, USA.
Funtown Splashtown opened in 1960 as a drive-in restaurant, and it was pretty successful that they started adding some small kiddie carnival rides. But over time, basically, they started expanding even more, and then even added a whole water park, which is Splashtown, so then renamed to Funtown Splashtown. And now they added the Excalibur and all of these fun rides, but they weren't there at the beginning. In fact, this was just some local weird carnival that was just kind of a drive-in restaurant that just had some amusement rides, and it didn't really start getting popular until only like 3 decades ago. Now, let's give some reviews on some of their highlight rides. So we're going to start out with one that many of you have, especially if you've been to Funtown, maybe for the first time, you've probably seen this dome right here. And a lot of people will skip right past it because, they might just think it might just be a room or like gift shop or whatever. But, this is an attraction, and it's a scrambler. But let me just tell you, it's not any scrambler. Astrosphere is a scrambler ride. It's an indoor scrambler, as New England is loaded with indoor scramblers for whatever reason. But this one just might be one of the best ones you'll ever ride if you ever do. There's projections on all of the arms of the scrambler, and they all project weird things like aliens. I mean, that's mostly the backstory. No one really understands the backstory, but I guess aliens take over the world, and then they make it bad. I don't even really know, but it's pretty crazy, and there's just a bunch of lights, strobes. It's loaded with everything, and it's a long cycle, about 4 minutes long, and it's definitely on the slower side, especially for a scrambler, but it is a heck of a time, and the show just 100% makes up for it. And most people love this ride, and you might not ride it either because they have epilepsy or they're just not a ride person. But if you ever go, this should definitely be a ride that you ride, because this is just something that you're not going to get anywhere else. This park does have a log flume, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because it has the largest and tallest drop. It has the largest and tallest drop in New England. Now, me personally, I have rode in this, and I would say it's a pretty good and decent log flume ride. I mean, it's pretty short, but the cycle's actually really fast, and you definitely get refreshed. And at the bottom, people will put money in these dispensers, about 25 to 50 cents, and they will activate cannons, and they will get you even more soaked. And when you go, it's very likely you'll see some grandpa or something just putting in money countless times, and it's really a ball. This park is kind of weird how they've never had a actual family coaster or any more thrilling coasters. I mean, it is likely, especially since it is a family-owned park, but it's kind of weird. But they do have a wild mouse to make it up, and it is your average lateral wild mouse, and nothing really much to say about it. But just make sure you watch out on those brakes, because man, they can be a little overpowering. But you do get some decent airtime on this, as you can see. but there's nothing really special about it. Now, here is the King Coaster. The reason why all the coaster enthusiasts will even think about coming to this park. Excalibur. Excalibur is a 150 feet wooden roller coaster, CCI, and it's actually a lot better than you'd think. And I'll just warn you, there's a lot of laterals on this thing. I mean, it just has some of the greatest laterals that you'll get from any coaster, and especially a wooden coaster. The drop, it's fine. I mean, it's not extremely impressive. It's not a family ride, I will tell you that now, but it's not like an over-the-top crazy ride either. Now, something that is a little disappointing is that, well, it is decently long, but at the end, you definitely lose a lot of speed, which is unfortunate, but it's alright. It's still a really good coaster, and I'm really proud of it, and it's a lot newer than you guys would think. It was built in, like, the 1990s, guys, or maybe late 80s, and so it's a really new wooden coaster. And recently, they did retrack some parts, so it's running pretty smooth. I mean, it's still bumpy, obviously, but it's running really smooth and since it opened, so it's good. Dragon's Descent is right next to Excalibur in the Thrills level. It is it's a pretty tall drop tower. Not one that launches you up, but one that you go up and then it free falls you down. But it is 250 feet tall, and you do get a good view of the park. You get most of the water park, but as it goes up, you can see the Atlantic Ocean, and if you're in other angles, I mean, they're not as good views, but you can still see nice views, and it is pretty tall, and the park nearby, the water park, Aquaboggan, you can see this drop tower from it, so that's an idea of how tall this is, because Aquaboggan's not a neighbor of the park, but it's close, but not really that close, but yeah, Dragon's Descent, it will definitely give you a pretty forceful punch of force when you're going down, but it's not extremely impressive, but it's impressive compared to a lot of other drop towers, this model. Now, in 2024, this park opened with a brand new dark ride. Now, this park used to have a haunted walk, and it was actually very scary. Many kids couldn't even go through it. They had to shut it down, though, because of the new policies where now you can't get touched, and they just rebuilt this by Sally Dark Rides, and it's really good for a small park, and I mean, there's some screens, but there's a lot of animatronics as well, and it is a shooting game as well, and even if there wasn't a shooting game, it's still a really nice ride, and there is a story to it, too. I mean, no one really follows it, but it's there, and it's pretty fun. I mean, it's not scary, but it's really well put together, and I'm really impressed by it. Now, Funtown is a pretty nice park. It is the staple of the whole amusement park. But now let's talk about Splashtown, USA. Now, this park isn't an extremely large water park, but it is the biggest in Maine, next to their competitor Aquaboggan, and it has some nice water slides. I mean, it has two water slides, the two staple water slides, the ones that you'll get the biggest lines on, Mammoth and the Tornado. The Mammoth is the orange one, and the Tornado is the teal one. The teal one has a big thing, and I always call it the toilet bowl. I always forget what it's called, but it has one of those big things, and it is a pretty forceful drop, and it's pretty fun, but if you want to prank your friends and send them backwards, and this is a good one to do it on. This park also has some fun little mat slidey tubes-ish. You go in, and it's actually really quick. You race down with your friends, and it's fun. I mean, you get some drop, but it's nothing impressive. They do have two slide launches, if you call them that. And basically, it's what you'd expect. There's one where you'd go on and you get some twists, some turns, known as the green one. And then the blue one will just send you straight down. This park does have one mat slide. It's called the corkscrew, and honestly, this is the least popular slide here, but still does get some lines, but it's nothing special. Now here is kind of one of the oldest slides here at the park. This one, it's a very simple design. You just go down, you go through a little tunnel, and you go to the side, and then the side, and then the side, over and over, until you shoot right into the pool. Pretty simple, but yet still fun and will still refresh you. Right next to this, they also have a green slide, and in the inside, it glows in the dark. It's a really nice and fun experience, but is pretty short, but not so thrilling, but it's fun. Now, this slide is actually pitch black, and by the footage, it looks pretty light, but when you're actually on the ride, it's pitch black, and you cannot see a thing. Now, it's the same exact thing as the green one, considering the layout, but it's still pretty cool how you can see nothing. Now, they do have a little thing, it's a kiddie area called the Pirate's Paradise, and they do have some pretty simple slides. The yellow one is the longest one, and then the other ones are pretty simple as well. But there's nothing special about it, just a little play area for the kids, but that's it. In general, this is a solid park with a nice water park and a nice dry park. Now, would I say it's the best in New England? No, but if you're in the New Hampshire, Maine area and just want to have some fun, go ahead. Though I will warn you, prices are a little over the top with $60 for both parks, but if you just buy Funtown, it is only $7 for Splashtown. So you do get some value in there. But it's a solid park, and I would recommend it over Palace Playland, which is right next down the street, and Aquaboggan. I would not recommend you eat food here. They do have some nice fries, but it is very pricey. And actually, soda here is like Disneyland, how it would cost about $7. So, what I would do, and a lot of other people who have reviewed this park agree with me, but just go down to Old Orchard Beach, which is a couple minutes away, and just go get some pier fries or whatever, as there's a nice park there, which I will be reviewing soon. Now, if you have a theme park, a local theme park, or just a theme park you want me to review about, tell me down in the comments. I need some ideas since I'm still just starting out. And I will see all of you in the next review.